Alright, so in this episode of Kettering Gamer Guy, I'm going to work on some more of the repair series. Did an N64 controller, did a PS4 clean out, and a Super Nintendo controller repair clean out. So one of my friends has brought me his original Nintendo from when he was a kid. Blinking red light. Never been cleaned out, so we're going to take apart Nintendo and we're going to fix it up and try and make it work like new again. Here is the specimen. I said I'm not going to bleach out or do any of the shell. I'm going to clean it and wipe it down and get it all situated. So let's flip it open and crack it open and see what we can get. Alright, these are fairly self-explanatory. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phillips head screws that you have to take out. Okay, next we're going to take the heat shield off. And look, this is why it's important to take your systems apart and clean them out, especially if you get them used. So we're going to take out that screw, that one, that one right there, that one right there, and that one right there. Okay, so those 6 are out. Then we take off the top of the heat shield, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, all the screws that hold this thing together, the frame, everything are the same, but you have a silver screw here and a silver screw here, and that attaches the entire board and bottom subboard to the actual plastic case itself. So it's important that you put those 2 silver screws back, and that's on the front of the carriage. Okay, now that we have taken all of those out, we are gently going to raise this up, and you have 3 wiring harnesses that you have to remove. So we will take each of those out. I need both my hands, so you have one right here, you have a small one right there, and you have the one for your power buttons right there. Okay, now that we have, see, you have the blue that goes into the blue, the green one goes into the white one beside the blue, and then you have this other little green one that goes in right there. So now that we have all of that off, this little carriage right here, this is where your game's going. And as you can see, it needs cleaned up. I'm gonna clean everything here. If you're gonna take it apart, you might as well take it apart all the way. And then just gently raise that up from the bottom of your carriage. And set that over there. Alright. Let's check the board. The board is really dirty. You have just years of dirt and debris. Okay, this should be very gentle. This is your 72-pin connector. This is why you have problems playing your video games. Years of spit and dirt from cartridges get jammed up in between these rows right here. And over time, the use of the cartridge and the dirt and just pressure separates these pins and gives you an even worse connection. Now this one right here, this is where it connects into your actual board itself right here. So as you can see, the discoloration this should be bright, shiny silver, much like that. So we are going to, all the capacitors and everything still look really good. So we're going to clean this board, and we are going to clean this, and we're going to clean all this stuff out, and we're going to put it back together and try it out. Alright, so my tools of the trade are 91% isopropyl alcohol, a whole bunch of Q-tips, and I use a bit of this 1500 fine grit, and I wet sand all the corrosion off of these. You don't do it dry, you do it wet. If you do it dry, you're going to destroy all your leads. With it wet and just a little bit of pressure, this will be like brand new. And I will show you in just a moment how new it will look. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off all the dirt and corrosion off of this board, because it is definitely seen better days. I mean, it's just, yeah. Alright, so we've got our funky spots cleaned up, wiped out all the old pet hair and old crust out of there, and hit the rear. So rubbing alcohol for the win. And now it's gonna be that bad boy. Okay, so usually what I do, I got my little piece of sandpaper here. I just douse it like that with rubbing alcohol on a leading edge, just like that, so that way. And then I take rubbing alcohol and I put it up on there, and then just ever so gently just rub, just like that. You want to be careful. I mean, you can see just the dirt, crap, and crud coming off of it. And then I'll take, I mean, look at that, just horrible, so much crap. Okay, and everything, get one of these big fat chunky erasers, and that will help flush off any of the leftover crap. And then I take my microfiber, do that, and follow up with a good polish like that, and then get another fresh clean Q-tip and give it a wipe down, and do that as many times until your Q-tip isn't crusty anymore. Crust is gone. Alright, I mean, look at that. That is why your Nintendo blinks. Part of it. So look at here, look at here. Look at that. Nice and shiny. Let's flip it over to the side I haven't done yet. Dull and funky. Nice and shiny. Dull and funky. So let's do that one next. Alright, look, nice. Nice and shiny. Nice and shiny. Now, what I'm going to do with this little bad boy right here I'm going to take it upstairs. Sorry, I'm trying to dig tools out at the same time. I'm going to take this bad boy upstairs, and I'm going to throw it in a pot of boiling water for, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take these top pins here, and I'm going to bend them down. Not a lot, just a little bit. Each one, I'm going to just kind of bend down just a little bit. Make sure it gets a better grip on the cartridge itself. Yeah. And that, boiling water, and then I'm going to bend them. And then I'm going to take my sandpaper with a little bit of rubbing alcohol on it, and I'm going to through that, and I'm going to put this bad boy back together, and we are going to test it out and make sure everything works. Okay, so that's doing its thing. I'd take you with me, but my kids are eating, and yeah. So we're going to take some rubbing alcohol, and we're going to wipe all this down. Make it new again, or newish. So once we're done with that, we'll get the pin connector, bend everything back, and then we'll slap this bad boy back together again. Okay, water is boiling, pin is doing its thing finally. This, see, we got all that food and crud up out of it, so that's good to go. Now we will just get the connector and start a picking. Alright, so clean that out, and that's good to go. And we got the pin connector out of boiling water and reassembled all that. So then all we have to do is just reconnect our wiring harnesses here. Right there. If I can get my fat fingers up in there. There. And right there. Okay. And we will reposition those. We will reset those into position. Okay. And then we'll just fire our screws back in. We're good to go. Alright, so we got everything put back together. Everything functions. Cleaned out the inside of this. So we will just put that back on. And we will put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws back in that. And then we're going to wipe down the outside shell with alcohol. Like I said, a lot of people do the peroxide thing. It's nostalgia, you know. This is my friend's Nintendo he's had probably since the day it came out. So, I mean, I'm sure he'd like to keep it looking, you know, its age, but we'll knock all the dirt off of it for him and make sure, you know, it's good to go. Alright, so back together. Cleaned off the bottom. I try and stay away from any of the labeling with the rubbing alcohol just because, you know, you don't want to. Now, I'm not brushing my teeth with this. These little holes right here, rubbing alcohol, you just dip your toothbrush up in there and then you just get up in them grills real good. whole lot of elbow grease, but I mean, I don't know, detail. You can see the dirt in there, and then if you look up there, the dirt is non-existent. Maybe just a little bit, but the more we chip away at it, better off it'll be. All right, moment of truth, moment of glory. RoboCop. Light's not flashing off and on. And it's alive. It's beautiful. She's alive. Well, I hope you guys get some use out of the video, some help out of the video. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, just leave it on the video. See what happens, what I get next time. Thanks. Kettering Gamer Guy out.